Okay, so this is a $1,000 trade breakdown on AUD USD. It was about like 50 pips, I think, from like there to, all right, well, like 40 pips, 38 pips. Caught about 38 pips for like $1,000. Well, technically it was like $949, so basically $1,000. But what we had up here, start on the daily time frame. A lot of bearish movement. We had a huge sell-off, and then we're kind of having this consolidation range within this box right here. Within the range of this candle, a lot of wicks, a lot of exhaustion in both directions on the sells and on the buys. So that tells me price is trading in a tight range. We go out down to the 4 hour. You can also tell we're making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. And then this right here was kind of a liquidity grab. And then we got these consistent lows, and then we got a broken low right here. And it's just kind of stuck in this tight range. So, and it's right after this bearish huge sell-off. So that's telling me that's kind of like a consolidation slash retrace area. And then on top of that, we got a fib all the way down here wick to wick. You got this kind of 0.382 level. It's kind of respecting right here, and right below this psychological level is 0.675. And then on top of that, we got this kind of resistance level that is respecting on the bigger time frames. So that's the fib and that confluence. So that's the 4 hour range, 4 hour time frame. And then we go on the 12 hour. Similar price action, very tight consolidation of the candle bodies. You got wicks on both ends getting sold off strong, and also bought up kind of strong. So we're stuck in this tight range right after the sell-off. All right, let's go down to the, let's say, 1 hour. All right, so we got, and on top of that, we got this huge trend line that's from the bigger time frames that is getting respected. Kind of got respected here, huge respect here. And then we got this another mini trend line. I wouldn't say mini trend line because it's still the 4 hour, but like this trend line right here, the 4 hour. Lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and this downtrend trend line. Okay, so we got that. So price is kind of stuck in this range right here. So that's what I'm trading. We got kind of a support area right around this range. And then we got a support resistance area right about that range, and then we got a support area right about this range. So that's kind of the range I was keeping an eye on and analyzing for buys or sells. And then so back to what happened. We had a huge sell-off from CPI. Was it CPI? Yeah, it was CPI on Thursday. Huge sell-off. RSI, huge divergence, so we bought this up. That was a separate trade, so this retraced. I got out a little earlier than I should have, but held it up to around here. I could have held it for twice the amount of pips, but I just got out over here. But we go up here, it peaked, kind of sells off. We got a fib right here. Came up to this area, retrace, hit this fib level extension, and then from there we also get a divergence on the 15 / the 5 minute. So we go down to the 5 minute, huge divergence right here. So what is that telling us? That's telling us that we're probably gonna retrace. And then on top of that, we had news on Friday, and that was PPI. This was the PPI. And then on top of that, fundamentally, CPI was higher than expected on the US dollar, which means dollar strength. And because this is AUD, it's opposite of dollar, so that's weaker Australian dollar. So that's why we had this huge sell-off right here. And then we retrace. So that's telling me the overall trend is lower. So that fundamental confluence on top of this huge sell-off slash consolidation is telling me that fundamentally we're selling off, and then technically on the huge time frames we're selling off. So my bias is lower in the overall time frames. And so all of this buying action was probably just a retrace. So we had that back to the 5 minute, we had that 5 minute retrace right here on top of PPI, shoots this up for a retrace. And then so this is where I saw this setup. You got a huge divergence on the 5 minute, higher high and higher high, but we got a high and lower high. So boom, we get divergence right there. Right, divergence right there. And then on top of that, we back out again on a 15 minute. We got even more divergence here. Divergence here. Divergence here. Because we got a high and then we got a higher high. But then we got a high and a lower high. So not only do we have divergence on the 5 minute time frame, we have divergence on the 15 minute time frame. So those are two huge confluences. And then the bigger overall bias technically is lower, and then on top of that the fundamental bias for AUD is lower. So all those confluences together, and then on top of that we even have a fib extension confluence. It hit this level, which means it's peaking and it's overbought. So how many confluences is that? That's like 4 or 5 confluences. So boom, I'm very like on the sell side. Sell bias is strong. So what did I do? I got in around here for like right at the top. If you're being a little more careful, you can use a trend line break, but I was pretty confident with 5 minute divergence, 15 minute divergence, 4 hour confluence, fundamental confluence. Got in around here. I'm pretty sure it was pretty low risk. It's probably like 8 pips or something like that. And then we got down, actually fell back asleep, which isn't a great thing, but I went back to sleep. I woke up and I went back to sleep, which was not great, but we held it. So we got this for the TP, we got this support level right here, which is kind of consistent over here, but we got a support level right here on the 5 minute. So that's one TP confluence. Another TP confluence, we got a Fibonacci extension right here, so that's the second TP confluence, negative 0.444, which is a custom level that I use. So that's 2 TP confluences. And yeah, and then on top of that, on the 5 minute, I mean, we don't see a lot of divergence on the 5 minute, but just a tiny bit. And on top of that, it was Friday, it was past noon, so that means London session is over. Volume is slowing down for the weekend. I'd rather get out than hold. So all those confluences together for the TP, which is Fibonacci extension, support level, RSI divergence on the 5 minute a little bit, and even on the 3 minute some divergence. This is like low, kind of a small divergence, but we still had some divergence right here. And then on top of that, just the time confluence of it's Friday, it's past noon, London session closes at 11 p.m., it's 12 o'clock p.m. I only trade intraday, so like I like to get in and get out the same day most times, preferably, unless I'm like really confident that it's gonna keep moving. But yeah, so we got that. And on top of that, you can use moving averages. It just looks overbought over here and oversold over here, so that's when I got out. That's like 37 pips or so, just barely shy of 40 pips, and that was the whole trade. and then the execution part, and the management, and the TP. So that was roughly like $949 to be exact, but I mean it's basically $1,000. And then all the confluences on the higher time frame and lower time frame and everything like that, and how I managed it. And yeah,